On the next Dragon Ball Z. Is it possible we have an actually good DBZ game? Find out. In this episode of Super Honest Reviews Tenchai Budokai Z10. Chi. Hey guys, so a lot like the franchise itself, I don't even know where to start on this one. And it leans very heavily into the yin and yang of good and bad. So I'm just going to start with the good because that's the best place to start in my opinion, especially with a game like this. And if you want the too long didn't read short story version of it, the answer is yes. This is technically, with the exception possibly of the Game Boy Advanced Goku RPG, this is possible, and I'll go ahead and say because of the limitations of the consoles and the time, Dragon Ball Z Saga's game. Aside from those two games, I would say this is the best Dragon Ball Z game to date, without a doubt. It is Dragon Ball Z from beginning to end. Every single bit of it reminds me, both the good and the bad, actually, remind me of Dragon Ball Z. You might say that's balanced, and in many ways it is. The good stuff, as far as Dragon Ball Z goes, is everything except for some of the voices. They nail the atmosphere, they nail the music, they nailed the narration, the way that they present everything, nailed it. There are a few characters' voices who are not the same, or at least to me seem different. Other than that, they pretty much got everything you would want. From the first couple minutes in, I was already getting nostalgia hits from characters that I knew from the Dragon Ball series, and I love that. For me personally, I got into Dragon Ball Z in the late 90s, early 2000s, at a time when we had to wait for the Cartoon Network to get the dubbed versions of the seasons, and I remember there was like 3 summers of the same saga right before Cell, like leading up to the Cell saga. There was 3 summers where that's all we got was that same season over and over until they finally got the Cell saga, and that was a big deal for me. And then after the Cell saga, I kind of fell off on the whole train of Dragon Ball Z. I watched stuff when I could. I didn't really like the GT and the Super, but I did watch some of those things. But other than that, I'm pretty much like a hardcore from Dragon Ball until Cell Saga, right after Cell Saga, up to the Majin Buu. And for me, this game nails everything that I had hoped for in a Dragon Ball Z game as far as Dragon Ball Z goes. My favorite character in the series has always been Gohan, so it's really fun to play as Gohan any time that I can. And in this one, you get to kind of go through all the characters and all of the major story up until, and possibly through, I'm assuming up until and through the Cell Saga. I actually haven't gotten past basically Raditz and Vegeta yet, so I'm really early in the game. As you noticed, me flying around picking up balls, that's going to be what you do a lot, honestly. In fact, let's just use that as a segue into the gameplay and some of the bad parts of the game itself. So, my main issue with Dragon Ball games is that they've always been presented as a fighting game. All of their best games, as far as like numbers go, selling and whatnot, have been the fighting games because they are the best at showcasing what everybody loves about Dragon Ball Z. For some of us, like me, I love the story, the characters, and I always thought that this universe made a great world for a video game, RPG, action RPG. And like I said, the Saga's game was very close. It was only limited by the time and the consoles, in my opinion. This is actually basically an upgrade of Saga's, if you ask me. That said, the fighting in this game still takes its cues from fighting style games, and that bothers me a little bit, because at this point in time in video games, if you've played Spider-Man, Assassin's Creed, Batman, any action RPG game lately that has a roster of fighting moves and like a quick fighting style, I really wish that they would have adopted some sort of similar battle system here. They really didn't. It's really what I would call like an orchestrated button masher. There are several types of button mashing, and in this case, it's sort of that fighting game where you like, there are certain buttons for certain types of things, and you just kind of mash them in a certain order until you get the flow right. And that's what this is. There's levels of complexity to it, but it's also really, you can mash the buttons in like a generic order of, you know, attacks and nail your supers and whatnot, and you'll get it. But you can also learn how to actually do the things, and that works too. So really there's a skill level for everyone who wants to play. There's also different difficulty levels, so if you're a casual player, you can go through it with a super easy, having a super easy time. My biggest complaint about the game, and I've honestly heard this more than once in a few areas, so I'm not the only one. It throws a lot of menus and pop-ups and shit at you immediately. Like, as soon as I finally got into the game and turned it on, I had to sit and wait for basically 5 minutes for like all kinds of things to pop up. It's constantly just like telling you like all the different layers of the game that you can do, but it tells them to you immediately, and then like, if you don't read every single thing, like I don't, because, you know, I'm a gamer, so I'm just like, come on, you could just tell me about this in the tutorial. No. There's a lot of really convoluted concepts in this game, layers and layers of ways to do things and affect your stats, and like, I don't want to call them mini games, but like sub elements to the game, and they don't really explain, even though they pop up a million menus, they don't really explain everything the right way. So there's a lot of things you don't pick up on, and I would suggest, actually, if you're going to play this game, looking up some things I wish I knew videos, and that'll help you out a lot. As far as that goes, like, if you are going to play this game, which if you're a Dragon Ball Z fan and you've been holding off on it, go for it. I got it. My brother actually bought it for me for Christmas from GameStop for $15 brand new. $15 brand new US. It's currently, as of December 20th, 2021, it's currently on sale on the digital PlayStation Store for like 67% off. I think it was like the Ultimate Edition is like $23. So you can actually get this game for a decent price, whether you want a physical disc, brand new or used, or if you act quickly, the digital copy is relatively affordable right now. That being said, there's really no major gripes with the game. Like, I haven't hit any like major bugs. I haven't hit any major issues. Only development issues from my standpoint. Things that were just poorly designed or missed opportunities. Other than that, this game is great. If you are a Dragon Ball Z fan, it's great. It's, like I said in the beginning, the best, hands down, current Dragon Ball Z game that you can play. It has so much like stuff for the fans, and a lot of replay for people who are fans. From what I've seen so far, there's a lot of characters and customization as far as like, you know, the skins from the game go, and versions of characters that are available as you go. Otherwise, like, that's it. It's a pretty casual game, and it's a huge action RPG, open world-ish Dragon Ball Z game, and it takes you through the Dragon Ball Z story, as far as I know, up to and past the Cell Saga. I know there's also DLC packages that add more content, which I assume would be like extended parts of the stories. So if you're really into it and you get the base version, there's also a lot of DLC stuff available. Otherwise, my biggest tip in this game so far is going to be you're going to be tempted to like fly around and pick up all the balls all the time, but there's actually a lot better ways of collecting those that will be less time consuming and more effective. The biggest thing that I would concern myself with if you're playing this game is the cooking, the food. Try to make all of the best foods you can. Look at the stats, and where it says status boost, not meal effect, but the status boost, that is a permanent upgrade for like all your character stats. So from what I've found so far, you just make all the food you can and eat it all, and you'll get permanent stat boost. If it says, you know, plus 3000 HP, you're getting 3000 HP permanently. If it says meal effect with a time limit on it, that goes away. It tells you how long that lasts for, but the status boost is permanent. So don't be afraid to eat that shit. You've seen Dragon Ball Z. Imagine the scenes that they have where they eat, you know, you've seen it, a million plates of ramen and like just dishes everywhere, and you'd always be like, oh man, that's so crazy, but it makes sense because they use so much energy. Well, guess what? They don't tell you that, but in this game, that's what they want you to do. They want you to like pig out, and you get like, you know, if you do it before a battle, you'll get, you know, limited boosts. But just do it, because you can always hunt, you can always fish. There's some really cool like side things like that to do. And the other tip that I have is the blue exclamation points are side quests, but they're like limited. So when you see a blue marker on the screen to do a side quest, do it. Every time you do a mission, every time you complete anything, check your map for the blue exclamation point, and if you find it, do it. They're usually really short. They're side quests. They give you important things that will help you later as you build up. But otherwise, that's my two big tips. Eat everything you can. Use your money to like buy the ingredients you need to make the best foods. Hunt, fish, get the baits so you can get the best fishing, and focus on that and build up your community for food and stuff. And like, that's going to be your way to like buff yourself permanently in the game. Otherwise, it's really fun. There's no spoilers because, you know, unless you've never played the series at all or seen the series at all. But that's it. Like I said, I got it from GameStop as a gift for $15 US, brand new. And you can get it on sale as of the holiday sale of 2021 December on PlayStation Network. You can get it for, I think the most expensive one was $35 for like the super deluxe, and then they have a $23 one, and then they have, I think it was like $20. I don't know. But either way, it's on sale right now for a limited time for the holiday. So if you really want it, check it out. Otherwise, thanks for watching. As always, you know I love you guys. Hit that subscribe button. I'm over 200 subs. I'm at like 220-ish right now. I'm going to try to do a little push right here at the end of the year to try to hit 300. I'm going to be streaming and stuff. So if you're catching this now, hit that sub button for me. And we'll see you next year or sooner. Who knows? Anyway, that's what I have to say. Love you guys. Bye. I almost forgot. Damn you, Kakarot! What are you waiting for? Subscribe, bitch.